What's good, YouTube? Last week's back, another video. All right, I promised that I would, do these games here. The Aces versus the Connecticut Sun game ain't really much to talk about. The Aces went out there and actually covered, which is disappointing. I didn't pick them to do that. They finally go against their own trend, but I get it. It was a situation where they were trying to prove something, and I should have known better to doubt them in that type of situation, but. This here we're gonna deal with this. What happened here with the Indiana Fever and the Dream. As you know, I picked the Fever to win. I picked them to cover 7.5 points. I thought they win by at least 8 points or whatever. The Atlanta Dream prior to this hadn't shown me any reason to think that would happen. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what is this more indicative of? Is it more indicative of the Atlanta Dream being better than I thought, or the Fever being a little bit not as good as we thought, or the Fever not playing their best, or Atlanta playing their best? What happened here? Now, I'm going to say a couple of things about what I think was happening here in this game before we go into the actual percentages and the points and all of that good stuff, okay, and stats and everything. What I think happened here was the Indiana Fever had an emotional letdown. That's what I think. And they got punched in the mouth for the most part in the game, though they had a chance to still win it. But I think this was a punch in the mouth. And what I mean by that is, okay, they were set up by the league to really get off to a really strong start this season. We're talking about two home games against teams that did not make the playoffs. All right, you got the Chicago Sky, who didn't make the playoffs, who is your big rival. Okay, they are. This actually confirms that the Chicago Sky is their big rival. Um, and then the Atlanta Dream, who did not make the playoffs as well. Now, that's something Stephanie White is going to have to work out, right? If you want to talk about being those top in the top tier teams, this is one of the reasons why. Well, besides the fact that they haven't proven it, this is one of the reasons here, or this is confirming why I did not put the Fever as a top four team prior to the season, around 5 to 8. Why? Because potentially wise, if the team can put together their A game, maybe they are up there, with the Aces, New York, so on. Okay, but how often are they going to be able to put together their A game? Also, you have to factor in the new pieces, how they fit together, how rotations will be drawn up, all of those different things. Okay, this is what I believe happened. I believe game one, okay, they're emotionally locked in, along with technically locked in. But even in that game, I did not see the type of offensive execution indicative of a team like when you look at Minnesota, when you look at New York. Now, there are certain bread and butter plays that the Fever have, in particular the pick and roll game between Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark is their bread and butter. It's their best thing they got going. Whenever they absolutely need a bucket, they automatically go to it. Okay, but for me, it's not quite as lethal as, say, Nafisa Collier and Courtney Williams is yet. Right? It's close, but it's not quite there. And then also Minnesota, they just have more cohesion with their team. But anyway, this is a game that the Fever should have absolutely won. Okay, but they go out there with an emotional letdown. Part two, number two, they were probably feeling themselves after a blowout against a team like Chicago. You don't really know if you're really good or not, or if Chicago's really bad. It's only one game, but you feeling like, hey, you the shit, and you did this at home. I could tell by the energy level at the beginning of the game. Before you know it, the Fever Atlanta rips off 11 points. The Fever has 4 points. Okay, matter of fact, they allowed Atlanta to score 31 points in that first quarter. Right there, that's a team that was either feeling themselves or having an emotional letdown. They just didn't come out with the same energy. Now, they to their credit, they kept fighting back. Right? They were down by almost what 13, I think, in that first quarter, but they ended up making it 31-23. Okay, then the Fever go and they win that second quarter. Okay, so now we're just talking about the emotional ebb and flows of the game. So what Stephanie White has to do is get this team. If they're gonna do what people are thinking they can do, you're gonna have to get this team to focus every single night. You gotta lock in every night. If you want to be up there with those top tier teams, you can't have letdown days. And this is what this was. This was a letdown. They're lucky, really, that they had a chance to win in the end, and they only lost by one. Really, they could have easily, if Atlanta was any good, they would have lost by 10 or more, easily if Atlanta was any good. Now, why was this game as close as it was? Uh, Caitlin Clark proved to me, because Caitlin Clark proved to me she's better than Ryan Howard. Okay, that's pretty much what that is. Ryan Howard has all the skills that I like in a player. Good size, good mid range game when she decides she wants to use it. Good athleticism. Definitely the superior to Clark on the defense when she wants to, but it's something in here that Caitlin has more of that Ryan Howard has. Right, I'm not putting Caitlin in the category of killers yet. I don't think she's that. She had an opportunity to really put herself put herself in that category, but she misses an easy mid range shot that was she should have made to win the game. She misses that. So not a killer yet to me, but Ryan Howard definitely not a killer. She got more killer in her than Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard is soft as baby pudding, okay? Soft as baby do, and she showed that again. All the talent in the world. She's doing stupid things at the end of the game. There are certain runs where uh, anyway, let's go to the game here. What actually happened here? If we're going to go by the numbers. Atlanta shot better than Atlanta shot actually worse than Indiana in this game. Okay, both teams took 68 shots. Atlanta only made 29 to the Fever's 33. Okay, but it was at the free throw line. It was at the free throw line where Atlanta actually made their money, talking about 25 free throws out of 32, whereas Indiana got to the line 26 times and missed 10 free throws. Okay, so if the Fever makes their free throws, they got a chance to win this game. So the other thing that helped the Fever was they were 47% from three. Took 17 threes. Whereas the Atlanta Dream took 30 freaking threes. Right? And this is a letdown for the Fever. If you let a team to go out there and shoot damn 33s, beat you. Okay? So those are the things you gotta work on. All right. Defense, I gotta give the Dream credit for the defensive effort. I thought they put really good effort. At times they did a really good job on Caitlin Clark, but the Fever is so persistent. They're so persistent with going to Caitlin Clark and the same thing they do. I'm not gonna take away from it. Like I said, those who follow the channel, it's not my type of basketball. I don't believe in Caitlin Clark constantly bring the ball up. All right, lay the balls and set screen, go around, lay the balls and look for the three. You lay the balls, go around screen. If you blitz the screen, you find the open shooter. You cut her to the basket. It ain't my thing, but look, it's working. It works against the Dream. All right, good. Dream couldn't necessarily. We're doing a good job against it for a minute, but then Caitlin, when she was insistent on getting her shots, she got her shots. We're going to talk about her game and her numbers in a minute. So we talk about the assist battle. The team assists were pretty much even. The Atlanta Dream had about 19, and the Fever had 18, which is a pretty good number for the Fever. But, I mean, yes and no, right? It's still mostly dominated by one player, Caitlin Clark. Pretty much nobody else gets hardly any assists, but that's the way they play. It is what it is, okay? Many of you guys think that it's winning basketball. We're going to see in the end, okay? Steals. Okay, the Atlanta Dream was able to get steals, and they won the turnover battle against the Fever, though not by much. The Fever had 14 turnovers to Atlanta's 11 turnovers. Um, you know, so but and right here too, the Atlanta or the Fever, they concede 20 points from the 14 turnovers, whereas Atlanta only conceded 13 points off of their turnovers, right? So this is why turnovers are very important. That's a 7 point difference right there. You know that you avoid by just protecting the ball. Very important, man. Rebounds, protecting the ball. We talk about this all the time. Um, and what happened with the rebounds? Atlanta won the rebound battle by 5. And really the key, and I believe that Atlanta in this game, you know, had exposed the weakness of the Fever that I feared early on in the videos where I talked about how Chicago would match up well against them. Okay, and it was the bigs, right? Brittany Griner, for the most part, was dominant in the game. Um, let's go to see. It was Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones. They were at the points in the game just great. Griner leads the way with 21 points. Um, her rebounding, it was 8 rebounds, not bad, but it was Jones who had 19 points, 10 rebounds. That was really dominant. And what I've always said, you look at Tasha Howard there, Leah Boston there. Leah is big, okay, but they're either going with Bonner or they're going with a Hall at times. And tonight it was a lot of Lexi Hall, hardly any Bonner I saw, especially in the second half. I don't know if that was due to any injuries or is that just a coach's decision that she didn't like the way Bonner was playing. I'm not sure. I would have to look back at it to see if Bonner was really that bad, to understand why she went with a lot of that. Bonner only goes 16 minutes today. Only took one shot, which she missed. Um, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. And I don't even know if that causes problems later, you know, as I'm sure she didn't go there to run 16 minutes and not be put in the game. All right, so Ryan Howard ends up with 20 points. I don't give a shit. Like I tell y'all, I don't really care about these box scores. She was 5 of 17 from the field. Um, the only reason her points look inflated is because she had 4 3 pointers. Now from the free throw line, she hit all 6 of her free throws. That's good. That's why it looks like it wasn't a bad game. She was horrible to me. Almost cost them the game. At the end, Ryan Howard just it's stupid selection. Okay, you got Caitlin Clark come down, makes a play. I don't know if it was either the play to Leah Boston to put the team up or whatever, or maybe it might have been after the logo three. But then Ryan Howard comes down. It's her chance to match it. She's able to get past the first level of the defense, and then she kicks it out to Brianna Jones, or her big, for a 3 pointer. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I like, man, she frustrates me. Um, Alicia Gray was okay. Was Alicia Gray is solid, pretty much always solid. A nice guard, just not a killer. If she could develop some sort of a killer man instinct with her, this would help this team go a long way. That's what this team is lacking, a killer. Um, could Tahina Pau provide that at some point? Perhaps. Pau only got an opportunity to shoot 1 3 in this game. She actually started. She was starting lineup, which is interesting, but she only ran 18 minutes. She did kind of look somewhat like a rookie tonight, which is okay. And a lot of her minutes were taken by Nas Hillman, I believe, or is that Maya Caldwell? No, Kimbrough. It was Kimbrough, I believe, is the guard that was taking a lot of her minutes. Probably for defensive reasons. She's long, athletic. I kind of got, why she was doing that. Because they're like so aggressive with Caitlin Clark and going around the screens and shooting threes that you gotta put those players in there, to guard it. You know. Um, Now what was happening with the uh, the The Indiana Fever. Okay. So for me, I thought Aaliyah Boston was very, very dominant in this game. In a way, in ways, she was the most dominant player in the game. Aaliyah Boston was great in the post, playing defense, blocking shots, just being a big presence out there. Okay. Caitlin Clark, you got to give her a lot of credit because to me, she started off very slow. I didn't like what she was doing in the beginning of the game at all. I didn't like her shot. Well, I don't, I'm not in love with her shot selection just in general, as most of you know. But when it works, it works. There's nothing you could say, right? She was very persistent with her shot, with her game, and she ended up getting hot at times. So, as we know, when she gets hot, it's an effective way to play basketball. Um, when she's not, but tonight it worked. She was very hot. She also did a good job assisting at times of the game, whether it's in transition and in other areas. And I got to give her credit here. Just 3 turnovers. That's great. What she's doing is, you see, setting up. She's doing a better job with the turnovers. So there was 11 assists to 3 turnovers tonight for 27 points for Caitlin Clark. That's a very strong game. From the floor, she was much more efficient than last season. 9 of 20. That's almost 50%. So kudos to her. She played a good game. Um, it could have been better though from certain things, but it's okay. Good game. She did fight. There were times, man, where she was bringing the team back. They were down 9 and stuff like that, and she'd go make a couple local threes, energizing the crowd, all of that good stuff. Um, Got to give Caitlin credit for those things. Uh, Kelsey Mitchell, uh, wow, by the numbers was good. I don't know, when I was watching the game, I didn't feel like she was good throughout, but hey, she was 9 of 15. She was the most efficient player besides Aaliyah Boston on the team. Made all her free throws. Whereas even Caitlin uncharacteristically missed 2 free throws. I thought I would never see that happen in the game. Kelsey Mitchell gives you 24. So the big three, you know, is still carrying things for Atlanta. I mean, for the Fever, it's still Boston, Mitchell, and Caitlin. Dude, those are the big three of that team. You got to say right now. Bonner gives you nothing tonight. Natasha Howard gives you 6 points, but she wasn't really particularly effective. Um, Lexi Hall came in, gave some good minutes, some good energy. She was able to get. Well, I'm surprised she didn't get any steals, but she gave some good. She gave some good minutes and some good energy. Um, but that's the thing. The Fever didn't get hardly anything from the bench tonight, so they're probably looking forward to Sophie Cunningham coming back. Their bench really didn't give them 9 points off the bench to um, to 12 points off the bench for um, for Atlanta. Okay, so there's that. Um, my main takeaways from the game: Atlanta Fever, just don't smell yourself. Um, Hell of a game against Chicago. We went out there with the right focus. Went out there with the right game plan. Everything worked out. It just went well against Chicago for various reasons. But he went out there and they weren't prepared for Atlanta. And the truth is, the point is, you could tell just from the beginning of the game. You rip off 11 points, you got 4 points. You know, and they were playing from behind all game. And you know, no, to be that team, the top tier team, the team that's a championship contender, you got to do it every night. And that's pretty much what I would just had to say about that. Other than that, you know, good game for Atlanta. They came through. You beat the Fever in Indiana. I think you caught them at the right time because the Fever's a team. I mean, the Atlanta's a team. I just don't see him making it, man. Unless Ryan Howard just gets her stuff together, man. Takes her head out her rear end, man. 5-17 is, you know, 5-17 and all of that. That ain't gonna work, man. So, so there you have it. Now the Fever fall to 1-1. Dream go to 1-1. And he didn't cover, which ticked me off. If you, man. Anyway, I'll get with y'all later. It's pretty much my breakdown of that game, man. So, peace.